Hello everybody, welcome to the very first video on my brand new YouTube channel, minisbykev. You may also know me from YouTube. This is YouTube. You may also know me from TikTok or Instagram. I am Kevin or Kev, whatever you want to call me. I'm a miniaturist with a full-time job that's not anything to do with art, as well as a writer and many other things, but this channel is going to be solely focused on my miniatures. I don't have a very extensive background in miniatures. I've only been creating for a little over a year or two. Started right around the beginning, right before the pandemic. Back when things were in the world were a little more normal. During the pandemic, I kind of just fell face full first, that's not even a saying, but I fell face first into it and just really hit the ground running. But I fell in love with miniatures very quickly. I fell in love with making things and just creating things so tiny. And I realized that looking back at my childhood, this was something I was always kind of into, but not to the extent that I am now. My husband is actually the one that introduced me into miniatures. He still dabbles here and there as a miniaturist, but he is an author who has books out. He has stuff to work on, so he doesn't do it as much as I do, but he is the one that introduced me to it. I created this channel because I love miniatures. I love making TikTok videos. I love taking Instagram photos. I just love miniatures. I love everything about them. And something I really wanted was a larger format to creating videos that I felt like I couldn't get on TikTok. I could record the longer videos on TikTok, but do people actually watch those? Do people want those? I also love YouTube. I have another YouTube channel where I used to create writing content, which I will go back to at some point as well, but it's something that I really missed doing was creating content, and miniatures is really like my whole life now. I want to find other people who are into this hobby. People that make this their living. I mean, ideally, someday I would love to make this my living. I don't know if that's ever possible, but who knows? And I've made a lot of friends on TikTok and Instagram, and I really just want to expand who I know in the community and get to know more friends and get to learn new techniques. I do follow quite a few people on YouTube already, TikTok, Instagram, but I'm always looking to have new friends and expand more. Now, creating this YouTube channel doesn't mean that I'm no longer going to make TikToks or Instagram posts. I will still be doing those. Just, this is like a longer format. And I figured since I am new on YouTube and you've never seen any of my work, the best video for my first video would probably be just showing you the things I've done, the things I've worked on, and there's not so many that I can't show you in one video. So I decided what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna show you all the projects I've worked on so far. I'm very proud of every single one. Some of them, they aren't done yet, including my main one that really kicked off my miniature creating. Still not done. I've been working on it for over a year, but there are reasons why I'll talk about in a little bit as to why it's still not done yet. And then I have my newer miniatures, which I love. I love miniatures. I love creating. I've been inspired not only by my husband, but by many other miniaturists. I'm inspired by the work that they do and the things that they create. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to flip the camera around and start showing you some of my projects. They're scattered everywhere right now. So we're just gonna go ahead and flip around and I'll show you everything I've been working on. Hello everybody, it's Editing Kevin, just jumping in here really quick. While I show some of these projects, I'm gonna talk about selling them, and this was not meant to be like a commercial to sell my stuff. It's more of the fact that I live in Los Angeles in an apartment that is too small to keep all the miniatures I make. So that's more of what I wanted to get across. So if that makes you uncomfortable, I apologize. That's not what I was meaning to come across. So it's more of I don't have the room. I would like to have all the miniatures, but I don't. I can't. I live in a very small apartment. When I first got into miniatures, one of the things I wanted to make, to be honest, I wasn't sure what it was. I knew I wanted to try something. I'd never made a miniature before, and I was on YouTube and I stumbled across Bentley House Miniature channel, and she had a tutorial for a mattress, and I thought it looked really cool. At the time, I thought I was going to make a whole bed. But then I came across that she actually had a tutorial on also how to drape fabrics. And the fabric draping, I just thought, what if I just had like a little disheveled bed on the floor with some like sheets hanging off? And so that is how this project came along. I ended up sticking it in this shadow box, which is very old and dirty and broken. I need to replace it, but I really like how it looks, even though it's just something so simple. And if I open it up, that sheet will not move a centimeter. Bentley House Miniatures, her tutorial on draped fabric, perfect. Absolutely perfect. Literally, never moving. Now this is the miniature that kind of haunts me because I have been working on this longer than anything else. This is the first room box I started, and I knew I wanted to do something a little weird, a little different. I wanted to do something besides the traditional Victorian, which there's nothing wrong with those. I think they're beautiful, but it wasn't really the vibe I wanted to go with. And so I thought about aliens because my dad's really into aliens. He really got me and my siblings into aliens. And so I wanted to make someone who was a detective, but he wanted to prove the existence of aliens. And so I started making this little room box of his living room that he's kind of made into like a little office of his. And I've just been adding to it for a very long time now. It's been a little over a year, and I'm still not done. But I've had a lot of fun making it. I've learned a lot of new techniques. Like, for instance, this TV was the first piece of furniture I ever made from scrap. I guess scrap is the wrong word. The first thing I ever made out of my head. And I loved it. It's not perfect, but I was so proud of myself. And in fact, it has an opening on the side so that if you turn on the little light and stick it in, it does glow. And I was just so proud of myself for making this. And like I said, it's not done yet, but I think it will be soon. I think that there's not much more to add. And part of it, I think I'm prolonging it because it is a little sad. It is my first room box, and I know that no miniature is ever really done. You can always go back and add to it, but it just feels, I don't know. I can't explain it. But this is missing a little something. I kind of want to do a filing cabinet, which, again, Bentley House Minis, she did one for her Beetlejuice, and I really feel like it would look cute over here by the TV. So Bentley, if you ever want to release that as a kit, I will happily buy. Editing Kevin, just jumping back in really quick to say that Ara from Bentley House Minis actually did release a kit for the filing cabinet, which I have the plans for, and I plan on making and putting in there. This next room box was something that kind of evolved organically. It was supposed to be fall themed, and I called it the cozy room, and it was supposed to have a fireplace and pumpkins and an outside view and a hot cocoa with cookies, and it kind of took on a life of its own. I decided I wanted to do a whole wall of books. These are all individually glued in there, and they were stuck in there. It took a lot of time. I made that little clock on the shelf, another thing I was very proud of when I made it. But as I was getting further into this project, I realized that it wasn't really like I said, the vibe, for lack of a better word, of the kind of projects I wanted to make. I wanted to make weird things, strange things. And while I do really like how this was looking, it just wasn't bringing me the kind of joy that the other kind of miniatures bring me. So this is actually no longer like this. If you follow me on TikTok, you'll know that I actually ripped the bookshelves out, and they're going into another project now. So this room is kind of blank and maybe waiting for me to do something else with it. And a lot of the other furniture that I had in here is actually missing now. I'm not sure what I did with it, but if you'd like to see me making this, it is on my TikTok. I followed myself making it for months. So if that's something you're interested in, go ahead and check that out. But this project, I think is it's definitely done, because it's not even together anymore. This is a different kind of miniature I wanted to make, and it's supposed to be like a mid-century modern liquor store sign, because I see them a lot in Southern California. And I made this all on my Cricut. And I do like how it turned out, but it is flat, and I do want to maybe recreate one out of foam board at some point. And as you'll see on the back, I made this out of a Trader Joe's Pop-Tart knockoff box. And when I flip it over, I get very shocked by how many calories are in these. And also, why did they give you per container? Is there someone out there eating an entire container? I mean, maybe, but no judgments. But I will make this again in the future, but using foam board. This is really one of those miniatures that I was talking about when I said that I wanted to make weird things, is I decided to make a 90s girl's bedroom wall. And while not weird in the traditional sense, I just mean, when you think of miniatures, people often think of like doll houses and very fancy Victorians, and I know that there are a lot of things that aren't like that, and that's more of how I feel I want to go with my miniatures. I want to make things like 90s girls' bedroom walls. I just really liked how it turned out. I just had this vision. It just popped in my head that it would be covered in posters. You know, she ripped out magazine covers, magazine inserts. She, bought all the magazines just so she could have a wall like this. And I went ahead and made a little Mall Madness go in there, some Lisa Frank notebooks, and a pile of clothing. And this one, however, I do think I'm going to end up selling. It'll be on my Etsy soon if it's not already. But I do really love it, and I love how it turned out. as you'll see soon, I am a big Wes Anderson fan, and I love all of his films, so I wanted to make this little tiny shadow box with this little tiny TV in it. It's based off the one that's in my Alien Detectives office / living room, except for this one, I wanted to have just a movie that I really like. This is not my favorite Wes Anderson film, funnily enough, but I just thought it would look cool in this black box with like a black background, so it kind of looks like it's almost floating there. And I thought it'd be cool to look, just hang up on the wall like that, or like put on a shelf, something like that. This one I think I'm going to hang on to, but I have thought about making similar ones to maybe sell, maybe even doing custom ones if someone wanted a custom movie or TV show. However, these TVs do take longer than they look to make and put together. Hopefully they'll get faster in the future, but again, I really like this one. Surprise, surprise. I do love it. But what's not to love about Wes Anderson in a little tiny shadow box? Now this one is more of an homage to the Alien Detectives office. I wanted to make a little vignette version of it. This one has Illinois in the middle because I actually am from Illinois. I'm from a small town in Illinois. And I just wanted to have a smaller version of the Alien Detectives office that I could put on display, because as much as I love room boxes, one of the issues I have with them is that I haven't quite figured out how to display them myself yet. So if everybody has any suggestions, please comment below and let me know. I would love suggestions. But I can hang these up very easily on the wall. However, as soon as I finish this one, I decided I am going to be selling this one as well. Just because as much as I love it, I don't necessarily need 2 Alien Detectives office like vignettes. I'm not sure. I just part of me said someone else will love this too, and maybe I can bring a little bit of joy to more than just me. So this one is going up on my Etsy as well soon. I'm not sure when. Probably in the next couple days after you see this video, if it's not up already. But I do like how this one turned out. It kind of looks like there's almost a star in the middle, which I thought looked kind of cool. Like I said, I love Wes Anderson, so of course I had to make a little vignette specifically to him. These are some of my favorite movies by him. Again, you can see Life Aquatic again up there, but you know, The Royal Tenenbaums is one of my favorite movies of all time. I love the movie, love him as a director, and I just thought it'd look cool to kind of do one that's almost in his style, where it's very linear and blocky. However, it's not perfect, but that's okay, because I feel like that's part of the quirk of it. That's part of the fun of miniatures is, you know, it's not perfect. And I like the ones that aren't perfect. I like things that are a little off. Even, and I'm not just saying that because it's mine and I messed it up. I do really like when they look slightly off. And so this one I just wanted to make it. I just had this feeling that it would look really good, and I really like how it turned out. However, it took me forever to make it because I messed up the frames in the background. No joke, about 3 or 4 times, probably, at least. But I do think it turned out good. Not to toot my own horn. Okay, so now that we've seen the ones I have finished, we're gonna go ahead and take a look at the ones I haven't finished. Now the reason I'm gonna go ahead and show you these now is because I will 99% sure I will not be making a YouTube video on either of these projects because they are so close to being done, and just a majority of it was already done off camera that I don't think it would be an enjoyable video to watch. So I'm just gonna go ahead and show you these, and then in the future when I do finish them, I'll show you just like at the beginning of another video. So let's go ahead and turn you around again, and we're gonna go ahead and look at my projects that I haven't finished. Editing Kevin, just jumping in really quick one last time. I did in fact record this video in July. It has taken me that long to get this done. Anxiety got the best of me, but I'm finally uploading this video, obviously. That's why I talk about it being July in this video. And no, I have not yet finished the door, but hopefully I will before actual Halloween, because I've been working on it since July. It's not every July that I suddenly crave Halloween, but for some reason I was. Nothing is really affixed to this or finished on this yet, so everything's gonna be sliding around a lot. It's not done, but I actually really like how it's turning out. However, I do feel as if it's a little plain. I'm not sure if I want to add hedges on the side. I do want to add the house number on a plaque, but I don't know exactly what I'm going to be doing on the sides yet. I do feel like it's a little plain, but I think it's a fun little vignette. I really like vintage Halloween decorations, and the red door is in many horror movies, such as Insidious, and I thought that maybe just like Halloween, the Halloween feel. But it's not just Halloween for me. I also listen to Christmas music in July, so I'm one of those people. I know, it's awful, but this one, I will also probably end up selling in the end. Well, we'll see. This one's a mystery. Put a question mark on it for now. Now, this is the project. My most intricate project. The project I love the most. And it is a vending machine. And this I've poured hours and hours and hours into. It's not much further along now than it is in this video when I was recording it. I've been following every step on my TikTok, if that's something you want to watch. These ones will not get their own video just because I'm already too far along to make a whole video about it. But this one is one that I absolutely love. One of my favorite scenes from one of my favorite movies, Paranorman, is the scene where the guy is trying to get food out of the vending machine. And because of that scene, I just really wanted to make a vending machine. That's all I can really say. I have no other reason. It's just popped in my head that I had to make a vending machine. And as you can see here, I have the little push door. I have the little panel that's going to have the little buttons on it. And there's just something about this miniature that really sparked that feeling in me of, this is why I love miniatures. And all my projects sparked that in a way. You know, otherwise I wouldn't continue them. Kind of like the cozy room, why I stepped away. But this one is one that I am very, very proud of. I am completely, utterly in love with my own project. And this is one that I will keep forever. I can't even imagine if someone wanted to buy it from me, what I would charge for it. $1 million. I don't know. I love it. It's one of those moments as an artist where I felt proud of myself, that I felt like my skills were stepping up. And that's why I love it so much. Now, these aren't miniature, but they're miniature related. Something I wanted was some kind of miniature merchandise. So I wanted to cover my sketchbook in miniature stickers, or stickers about miniatures. And I couldn't really find many. And so I decided to make some of my own. This one is just a little picture of my mini TV from the Alien Detective's office. And this next one is just something that popped into my head one day because as a millennial, it is really hard out there trying to buy a home. And so this popped into my head and I just thought, this will be a funny sticker to stick all over my stuff. And I really did stick it. I put this on about 5 things already. And the other ones on the same amount. So I really love these stickers. These are up for sale on my Etsy if anyone's interested. I just thought it was funny. I that's all I can really say is I love humor around my hobbies, and miniatures I love. So if you sell any miniature merch or you know of anyone else that does, please comment below and let me know so that I can find some more. But these will always be up on my Etsy. I think that's it. That was all the projects I've been working on so far. I have a lot of project ideas to come. I'm already sketching out a layout for one. Let me just say I hate math. I'm just gonna throw it out there in the very first video. I hate math. Something we have to deal with as miniaturists if you want to be scale accurate, and it's driving me nuts, okay? One of the things I'll give you a sneak peek on is I will be working on Bentley House Miniatures. I'm part of her Patreon. She does have a project that all of her Patreons work on a similar project. It's a room within a structure. I'm not gonna go ahead and talk about that yet because that is something that I'm gonna talk about in a future video, but that is something that I've already started working on the floor plans for. I already have so many other ideas of things that I think are interesting and fun, will be awesome to watch, hopefully. And I'm just really excited to get started creating. I'm really excited to share all these projects with you. I'm really excited to create. I hope to upload a video every week. Maybe, if I'm good at it, every 2 weeks is probably more realistic, but I'm gonna try and aim for one every week, at least at the beginning. Like I said earlier, I do want to make more miniature friends. If you create on TikTok or Instagram or YouTube, please comment below and let me know so I can give you a follow. I believe that's it for this video. So if you like the video, hit the like button below. And if you love the video, hit the subscribe button below. And until my next video, I will see you all next time. Goodbye!